English School. Yo! Today is May 24th. We're on pages 50 and 51. It's day 2 of the Origins article. Today we're talking about browse through the history of email.
对，我们昨天呢就很开心的讲到了说，这个 email 它是怎么来的？我们今天再来了解一下。那还有什么好笑？不是好笑，有趣的历史。对。
Yeah, making me feel old here. Things I didn't think were old, like apparently were. So yesterday at the top of the show, I talked about AOL. You've got mail. That company, right? And it was very popular to talk to your friends, kind of like SMS today, like you talk online or something, right? In the past, you had to do it on the computer. There's no phones to do it on, right? So you had to pick your name, and it was not cool to pick your real name. I wouldn't be Chris Gorski because my name's not cool. So you always picked like a cool name. Did you ever do any of this?
就有点像是线上跟人家聊天这个，对不对？
Yeah. But you don't use your face. You only use typing.
我没有用过那个。
没有用过。So you don't really have a name.
有啦，我记得我好像叫什么。因为我家住雾峰，好像叫什么雾峰本源之类的。
Okay. It's always a little embarrassing, right?
Stupid.
And I always saw people with like cool names. They always talked about like my name is Lamborghini 25 or something. Everyone always had a cool name, right? So I thought I would be smart if I changed my name not to something cool, but to be something not cool. So I called myself Fat Nerd. 肥胖的书呆子。Because I thought like, oh, look, everyone will see the比较, and they were just like, no one wanted to talk to me because they're like, you're fat. That was so disappointing. So I thought it was so smart, but
no, it's
it didn't work. Yeah. So guys, listen, if you want to talk to people on the internet, pick a cool name. Don't be like Chris Gorski and. All right, we're gonna take a break, and when we come back, we have paragraph 1.
Browse through the history of email. Every time something new is invented, there are people trying to make a quick buck. In the case of email, the problem is spam, which is typically defined as unwanted messages. It is used for various purposes, such as to market products and services or to trick people into giving out their personal data. The first spam email was sent in 1978 by Gary Thurk as an advertisement for his company. The first use of the term spam appeared in 1993 when a person accidentally posted 200 messages to a group of people. Members of the group joked about the accident, and someone referred to the messages as spam. The usage of the word spam was inspired by a comic sketch made by Monty Python. In the sketch, Vikings repeatedly shouted the word spam, which referred to the famous canned meat. The sound muted any other conversation. Eventually, the term came to represent annoying messages that drown out all the others. Over time, spam became a greater problem as it began to be used to spread computer viruses. To this day, almost everyone who has an email account has received spam in one way or another.
All right, friends, welcome back to Enjoy English School. Please pick up your pens and pencils. Let's begin paragraph 1. Every time something new is invented, there are people trying to make a quick buck.
他就说每一次呢，有新的东西发明的时候呢，一定有人想要去那边赚一些快钱。这个是什么意思啊？那个 quick buck.
So, this is okay, we're going to get there. Let's look at every time really quickly first. So, every we know means 每一个. So you need a singular after it. Don't say every times. That's wrong, of course. Every time something new is invented, there are people trying to make a quick buck. A quick buck means fast and easy money. You're not working hard. You're doing something easy and making a lot of money. So maybe you think people on YouTube can make a quick buck.
通常是有点小聪明啊，或者是那种东西不是长期的，就短期投机的那种感觉。
A buck means $1. It actually means a male deer with horns. Because in the past, you could sell these horns for money. You could actually trade them. Maybe 你在什么地方, there's no money. You could give them the horns. They can make medicine. You get what you need. You get chickens or eggs or something. So the buck, that male deer, in English today, we say money. There is a famous president in America. On his desk, he said, the buck stops here. Not the deer, the money stops here. That means I'm the boss, and if something bad happens, I will be responsible. A quick buck and the buck stops here are two great English phrases.
就是这个 the buck stops here 就是比较像是如果有什么问题要我扛。
That's right. That's right. Because the money goes to me. I'm at the top. The problem stops here. If there's a problem, I fix it. He's saying I am responsible. It is a very good thing. In the case of email, the problem is spam, which is typically defined as unwanted messages.
对，这个呢，我们来看一下 in the case of 这个，我们其实在这个月很多篇都有讲到，就是在这个 email， 如果我们要讨论这个 email 的情况的话呢，这个问题就是你的垃圾信件，收到一些垃圾信。那垃圾信是什么？它后面解释用一个形容词子句，就是说，通常呢，我们把它定义为那个 as 有为，定义为不想要的讯息。
Okay, is defined as 的意思是 it means. So it means unwanted messages.
对。
So is defined as is a pretty useful phrase if you want to use the dictionary. What is the definition of?
名词。
Yeah, so that just means like, what does it mean? It is used for various purposes, such as to market products and services or to trick people into giving out their personal data.
对，那为什么我们会有垃圾邮件呢？那他就举例了哈。那通常呢，我们的目的有很多，比如说像是第一种那个 such as 是举例哦。第一种呢，它是去行销，这个 market 是当动词，去行销产品啊，或者是服务，或者是第二个比较不好的，他去骗人，这个 trick 当动词，然后后面要加 into。有的时候我们会是说服别人去干嘛，骗人去干嘛 ，talk somebody into，trick somebody into 某一个行为。那为什么要骗人呢？因为呢，他想要骗他的个人信息。
Hey, I have a question. So I just thought of this. In America, there is a famous scam. A scam is a trick for you to give someone their money illegally.
诈骗。
They pretend, the person on an email pretends they are from Africa, the country Nigeria, and they're a prince, and they have a problem, and they need you to send them a little money so they can send you like millions of dollars. Do you have a Nigerian prince scam in Taiwan?
A lot of Nigerian prince.
You guys get Nigerian princes too?
And princesses?
Princesses, really?
Kings?
We don't have Nigerian princesses.
And also Keanu Reeves. Like I've heard from my friend. 我朋友是在那个诈骗部门，就是那种货币啊，他们那个诈骗部门，他是打击那个诈骗，因为我们都知道有那种比特币，然后呢，他们会有那种就是防诈的部门。他就说有一个人，他就假装他是基努里维，然后照片还不是放基努里维，然后那个太太就说基努里维这个影星他有缺钱，要我给他寄100万过去，真的寄了，而且他不相信，他觉得他就是基努里维。
I feel bad for these people, but it's funny that you also have them in Chinese, but you also have Nigerian princesses.
No, that was just an example. Sorry.
Oh, really? So you only have a Nigerian prince?
各国，我觉得我们没有概念，就是王储。我们台湾人对这个
Okay, because I was like, oh, that's really interesting. Why would it be only like a girl in Asia? Like, what about other countries, right? Dude, we could totally study this. Yeah, so that's a big problem with Nigerian princes trying to steal your money. These aren't spam. Spam is like, hey, buy my stuff. A Nigerian prince is a scam. They want to steal your money, and that's illegal. S-C-A-M, scam. 事实上是那个 spam 就是出屁谁洗。Okay, let's take a quick break. Man, I'm really interested in this. Let's take a quick break, and when we come back, let's go to our next paragraph. Hey friends, welcome back to Enjoy English School. We're on pages 50 and 51. We're talking about spam while we browse through the history of email. Look in our title, capital E email. But in our story, we have little e email. Please be careful. This is tricky because you can say capital E email. All right. So before we begin paragraph 2, I thought this was interesting. The first U.S. president to ever send an email was Bill Clinton. You guys might not know who Bill Clinton is, but that wasn't a long time ago, the 1990s, before the year 2000. And he sent 2 emails only. He's the president of the United States. He sent 2 emails. The first one was like testing. He just wanted to make sure it worked. And then he wrote another one to like a guy in outer space.
然后就没了。
Isn't that weird?
哦，感觉他很不认真工作。
It's the 1990s. It's almost the year 2000. And the president of the United States sent 2 emails.
这其实很惊人，因为我们会觉得说 email 的历史很长。结果第一个是 Bill Clinton，Bill Clinton 他是希拉蕊的先生。因为我们比较
That's so funny you think of him that way.
对，因为希拉蕊后来比较红嘛，因为他出来选总统嘛。对，然后结果他竟然是第一个美国总统，然后有寄 email 的，而且他寄了2封而已。
And the first one was just like, yo, and that was it. He like said like one word. Okay, here we go. The first email was sent in 1978 by Gary Thurk as an advertisement for his company.
没错，他就讲到啦，就是其实呢，全世界第一封垃圾邮件呢，是在1978年 Gary Thurk 这个男士呢，为了要宣传他的公司寄出的。
So I love that we know who sent the first spam email. I just, as a former history student, a social studies teacher, I love that we have this very specific thing, right? I love that. So Gary Thurk sent his spam email on May 3rd. So it was this month in 1978. He sent it to 397 people. And if you compare that to the world's biggest spammer, Rustock Botnet, they sent out 44 billion spam emails daily before it got shut down.
我们来比较一下哈，他当时呢第一封垃圾邮件发给几个人呢？其实将近400个人而已。那如果呢有一个在2011年被关掉的，就是那种僵尸网站，就是在寄恶意讯息的那一种，他一天呢可以寄多少 ？44 billion， 这个是440亿封。每一天
It's just incredible. 44 billion spam emails. So Gary Thurk, he sent that spam email to 397 and everyone's like, oh, it's so funny. And it led to $13 million in computer sales for him. He became famous for this.
对，所以他就说，其实他当时呢做广告那个效果非常好，因为他转换率超高，10%。10%，现在要做转换率，其实1就不错了，它10%哦。然后呢，他的这个赚钱赚了多少呢？透过这个寄垃圾信，他赚了13 million， 所以 million 是100万，所以是1300万美金。
That's pretty good. And $1978, it's a lot of money. It's like a little kid that does something funny. It's cute the first time, and then they keep doing it, and you're like,
you get annoyed.
It's not funny anymore.
Right.
Okay, let's continue. The first use of the term spam appeared in 1993 when a person accidentally posted 200 messages to a group of people.
对，那当时呢，他寄送这个邮件，我们讲那个 Gary Thurk， 他其实还不叫 spam。对，那第一次我们真正用到 spam 这个字，这个字被就是用在讲垃圾信件，其实1993年，其实蛮久的哈，距离第一封被发出来的垃圾信件。那为什么会叫 spam 呢？就是那个人呢，有一个人不小心accidentally 不小心呢，把posted 200 messages to a group of people， 他就传了200封讯息给一群人这样子。
Can't believe you said 1993 was a long time ago. All right. So he accidentally posted it 200 messages to a group of people. You've done this before. You send an email, but your internet lag, so you hit the button.
不小心。
Yeah. So my students do this with their homework all the time.
200 times.
I'll get like 7 emails and I'll tease them about it. Hey, Kevin, did you send me your homework today? Whereas I don't see it, and I open the email. And there's like all 10 of his emails right there. No, and of course I'm just teasing him. 我就开玩笑。
对对对。
So, all right, here we go. Members of the group joked about the accident and someone referred to the messages as spam. Okay, we refer to something means we just call it.
对对对。
Refer to something as refer to A as B means we call this thing this name.
对，我们这次会看到很多 us 的用法，同学可以记得。刚才我们看到 define us， 然后 refer 这样是把 A 视为 B， 等一下还会再看到一次 refer， 意思有点不一样。那他就说，当然你一次寄200封讯息给别人，那别人就笑你啦，他们就说你怎么会这样子呢？这样子呢，所以大家就把它说那就是 spam。
Now look at this. This is so convenient. In our last sentence, we said accidentally. You didn't want to do it. And now we joked about the accident. Look at that. We have an adverb and a noun right next to each other. We can draw a little arrow so we remember that. Accidentally. You didn't want to do it.
意外的。
And accident, of course, is the noun.
意外。
The usage of the word spam was inspired by a comic sketch made by Monty Python.
对，然后他就说呢，其实这个 spam 呢，其实是从哪里来的呢？最一开始为什么会有 spam 这个4个字母加在一起？其实是呢，原本呢是这个 Monty Python。Monty Python 呢是一个英国就是那种搞笑的那剧团，他们是一群人组成的。那他们一开始呢有做一个短剧，好笑的短剧，然后里面有用到这个字 spam。
Yeah, and Monty Python was very famous in the 1970s. You might think it's a little bit lunch out, but actually a person from Monty Python came to Taipei like 2 years ago.
真的假的？
Yeah, I can't remember who it was, but he's really old now. But he came, I think he went to Taipei Arena. Like there was a lot of people there.
所以 spam 这个字其实离我们很靠近因为你看他这个时候创造出来，由这个人创造出来，但这个人还活着。
Well, yeah, so spam is like, it was really popular in Hawaii. Because a long time ago, they didn't have electricity there. So when soldiers were there or people were there, they needed meat, but you can't always catch fish. So you had cans of meat. And it's a really old idea that helped people when the economy in America was really bad. So spam has been around for a long time, and most people kind of don't like it. It's actually good, but it's also really gross to open a can and this big piece of meat comes out. It looks gross, but it tastes pretty good.
I think we'll talk about this concept in our following sentence. Right?
Oh, do we really?
Yeah.
I kind of forgot. Let's see. In the sketch, okay, so a sketch is like a little play. It's a very short play that's funny. You want it to be funny. In the sketch, Vikings repeatedly shout the word spam, which referred to the famous canned meat.
他就讲说它的由来，那我们就讲到 Monty Python 创造这个字。那为什么会创造这个字呢？其实在有一次他们在短剧里面呢，他们短剧有角色是维京人，然后那个维京人不知道为什么就一直呢重复的喊着这个字 spam， 然后呢那个时候那个 spam 其实在讲说很有名的这个罐头的肉。
All right, our next sentence says the sound muted any other conversation. When we mute something, that means we kill the sound. So you can mute your YouTube video. That means you can't hear anything. But here it just means we can't hear anything because they're too noisy. Not that you don't have sound, they're too loud, so no one can hear me.
对，所以他就说这个一直叫就是 spam spam spam。他说这个声音呢，他就淹没了其他的对话，就听不到。
Yeah, the Vikings are shouting spam like they're shouting yeah.
很大声。
So it's a little bit weird. Why is this funny? Maybe, I don't know if young people would think this funny. So Monty Python liked to make very strange situations. And it's funny because it's strange. Why are Vikings shouting spam? We're trying to talk and these crazy people are shouting something crazy. And it's just a very weird and unusual situation. And for a lot of foreigners, this is very funny. I don't know if Taiwanese think Monty Python is funny. I think it's really funny if I'm being honest, but it is old.
就是有点超现实，因为他们的剧作都是比较跟现实比较不合理的，因为 Vikings 跟 Cantonese 他们其实距离很远，就是无厘头。
It's weird, and that's why it's funny. It's just what a weird idea we can dream up. Okay, eventually the term spam came to represent annoying messages that drown out all the others because you're trying to read your email, but then the Vikings are spam, and you can't because there's too many spam in your email. You can't find your messages.
对，我那个时候读到前面那个故事的时候，我其实有点好奇为什么会叫 spam， 可是最后一句呢，我觉得蛮合理的。他就说最后呢，这个词 spam 就 代表了那 come to， 它其实有逐渐成为的那种感觉。它逐渐成为代表就是很烦的那个讯息，就是你想要呢好好读你正常的讯息，可是就一直有垃圾信件来，然后这个垃圾信件呢就淹没了其他的讯息。
Now, when we drown, this is a very serious verb. To drown means you die in the water because your head is under the water.
淹死。
That's right. It's a very serious word. When we drown out, that means something else is happening, so another thing can't happen, or we don't notice it. A lot of times, people drown because we don't see them in the water. So to drown out means you don't notice the other thing happening. Maybe there's a sound, but you can't hear it, so maybe it's not there.
这个跟中文其实很像，我们会讲淹没嘛。我觉得我的声音被淹没了，这个在英文其实也是用 drown 这个字。
So before we go to our next paragraph, I want to reread this end because it's all in the past tense. In the sketch, Vikings repeatedly shouted the word spam, which referred to the famous canned meat. The sound muted any other conversation. This is fine. Past tense is great. You can also make this the simple present tense. So I'll just reread it to you in simple present tense. And we can use simple present tense here because it's a fact. When you watch the sketch, this happens. It's a fact. And facts are simple present tense. Okay? So I live in Taiwan is a fact. It's not your opinion. It's not 我可不可以. It's a fact. So simple present tense. In the sketch, Vikings repeatedly shout the word spam, which refers to the famous canned meat. The sound mutes any other conversation. The end.
Very good reading.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Eventually, the term came to represent. That can still be the past tense. Okay. In 2009, a bunch of stolen passwords were studied. You're going to stop the video for a few seconds, and I want you to guess what the passwords are. When we come back, we're going to tell you the top 5 most common passwords. Okay, friends, welcome back to Enjoy English School. We're about to start our final paragraph, but I told you that in 2009, millions of stolen passwords were studied, and these were the 5 most common passwords. I'm going to tell them to you, and you're going to tell me if you're going to think,
They can't
is
tell
this
you.
my password? If it is, you need to change it right away.
但不要跟我们讲，不要跟我们讲，不然就很容易被害哦。
Okay, password number 1 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
1、2、3、4、5、6，
Yeah.
最常见。
The number 2 most common password, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Wow, that sounds smarter.
That's a lot, right? The third most stolen password, 111 111.
都是一。
Not a good. Number 4, I love this so much. The number 4 most common password is America.
Why?
Because Americans love America.
Oh.
And speaking love, the 5th most common password is I love you. One word.
对，他把 I love you 放在一起。
Are any of those your password?
没有没有。
Not now. You changed it, right?
I can't tell you, even if it is.
If those are one of your passwords, they will get stolen. There are free apps, free apps that can help you make better passwords. Go use those, please.
Don't use your birthday.
Or my birthday. Yeah,
Pet's name.
Pets' names. Yeah. Anything that you can find online, it's going to get stolen. Okay. Paragraph 3. Over time, spam, little s, became a greater problem as it began to be used to spread computer viruses.
对，那随着时间的流逝，记得 over time 后面要接完成式，那或者是过去式也可以。对，那这边我们是用过去式，要看情况，所以这2个都可以哦。他就说过了一段时间呢，它就变成了很大的一个问题。为什么呢？因为呢，大家就用它来散播病毒。
Now, again, Grandpa Gorski is going to talk here. Computer viruses used to be a much bigger problem than they are today. They still exist and they're still serious. But in the past, you would get computer viruses all the time and you had to fix your computer. It was really annoying.
以前有防毒软体吗？
Yes, but people could make the viruses very easily. And those, maybe you have 防毒软体, you have antivirus software, but they didn't get updated fast enough. And so it was really like you would just, especially back in the day when other people would illegally download music, not me, because I wouldn't download a car. I wouldn't download illegal music. But back in those days, it was very easy to get viruses when you downloaded music.
现在也是。
Oh, 是吗？Download music? Who downloads music?
I don't. My friends.
Your friend. See, Spotify, baby. All right, here we go. To this day, almost everyone who has an email account has received spam in one way or another. I agree.
对，所以 to this day 到现在呢，至少啊，我们每个人啊，其实都在某一个时刻呢，有收过这个 spam， 就是恶意的，有的时候是恶意的，但是大部分的时候只是推销啦，就是这种垃圾邮件。
Okay, one more story from Grandpa Gorski. So, of course, the most popular email for a long time was Yahoo email. But then Google started Gmail. And today, you just get a Google Gmail. It's really easy, right? But when Gmail started, you had to get invited to get a Gmail.
Oh, really?
And they only gave you 5. So they would give you 5, and you would give your best friends a Gmail. And you only had 5, so you couldn't give them to everyone. So for a long time, if you wanted a Gmail, you had to wait, or you paid a friend for it, or it was getting a Gmail password was the coolest thing back 20 years, 25 years ago. Oh my God, I'm so old.
Now everybody can have a Gmail account whenever they want, right?
Listen, I'm an OG. I'm back in the day when I got invited. I still got that one, okay? That's right. Okay, for Enjoy English School, I'm Grandpa Gorski.
I'm Betty.
I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.